Well, hey, worship leaders, I just want to get on here and share for a moment some thoughts regarding everything that's going on in the world and our role as worship leaders in that. First of all, let me say this. I'm so proud of our churches. I'm so proud of our churches. I'm so proud of you and your church and what you are doing to reach people, what your church is doing to reach people, what churches all over the place are doing to reach people. Because listen, we have stepped out beyond our four walls for the first time in a long time. Some churches, the first time ever. All right. In a matter of weeks, everyone learned how to pivot. Everyone was able to change. We went to online services, live stream services, recorded services. We figured out how to record music, how to record messages. And for most people, how to do it really well. And that's so cool to see. Big churches, small churches, everyone made a shift and made it fast. And that's awesome, because listen, the church is not known to do that. The church is not known for changing. The church is not known for expanding its ways and coming up with creative ways to do things. I wish it was, and maybe it should be, but it hasn't always been. Listen, people have been mad at churches for years for not changing, and it makes sense that churches have a difficult time changing. Listen, we serve an unchanging God. We read from a text that's thousands of years old. We sing hymns that are hundreds of years old. See, I mean, it makes sense. The churches have a hard time with it, but man, we've done it. We've stepped out of our walls. We've made shifts so that we can reach the gospel, and I think it's incredible. And that's it. I think it's an incredible moment for the church right now, because there's incredible needs. And when there's incredible needs, man, there's incredible opportunities for God to show up. And God always shows up through his people. I'm so excited. I think history is going to look back on this moment and see a moment where the church made an impact in the world. So what about you? As a worship leader, what's your role in that? Listen, I think this is really a time for worship leaders to step up. It's a time for worship leaders to become worship pastors. I heard somebody the other day tell me that it was a worship leader. She said, I'm not a minister, I'm support for the minister. Listen, you gotta get that thought out of your mind. You are a minister, you are a pastor, you are a leader of people, a shepherd of people, and you need to step into that role. I know that's scary for some people, but listen, that's the role that you took on as a worship leader. It really is. It's to lead people, to shepherd people, to guide people. And people right now really, really need a shepherd. They need the good shepherd. They need Jesus, but Jesus often works, like I just said, through his people and through leaders in the church. And so what can you do to pastor your church in these moments? What can you do to pastor your church? Because listen, churches, right, we got really, really good, really fast at getting content out. So we can get content out all day. We can put together great worship sets and great messages and pump those out, and they'll look good and they'll sound good. But listen, a great sermon alone will not pastor a church. And a great song alone will not pastor a church. It takes people to pastor churches. So be a person willing to pastor your church. And that can be really, really easy. I don't want you to freak out about that. It can be really, really easy. Just start thinking, who can I reach out to? Make a list. Who can I reach out to in my church? And listen, it doesn't have to be anything more than, hey, how are you doing? So call somebody. Hey, how are you doing? How are you doing with social isolating? Hey, how are you doing with your job? Are you still working? Hey, what can I pray for you for? Anything like that, man. People need that now more than ever, and they need to know that God is moving, and they'll know that if God is moving through you. They need to know that there's someone praying with them and for them, and they'll know that if you say, hey, I'm praying with you, and I'm praying for you. People need a pastor right now, and I really believe that's your job, worship leader. Man, I still want you to lead through song too, though. Don't get me wrong. Get on Instagram Live or Facebook Live or anything else and lead through song. And even in your recorded messages or in those live stream worship moments, take moments in between songs to pastor your church, to encourage worship, to talk about faith, to share testimony, to pray for your church. Man, take those moments in those recordings and in those live streams as well. I'm not saying not to do that. I'm saying expand your role. Expand your role. Reach out to people. Pastor people in this time. And I'm telling you, this can be a chance for the church to explode all over the world. And it starts with you. I believe you have it in you. Listen, if you need anything during any of this time or after all of this blows over, listen, we're here for you. Worship Leader Coaching is here for you. We're praying for you. I'd love to hear anything specific you want prayer for. If there's anything you need to learn how to do, need coaching on, hit us up. We are here, and we want to watch the church and be part of helping the church not only survive, but thrive in this time. Love you guys. Praying for you. Reach out to us if you need anything at all.